Hi, Tom Cole for the Steve Taylor Community Connection, and it's certainly an honor and a privilege to be here with you. Of course, we got the boss, and we're honored to have in Tiffany Adamski and Hyfah, Hilou. But the ladies are here, boss, from TutorSmart. And gosh, ladies, I have a general idea what TutorSmart does, but maybe for people that don't know, Tiffany, you want to kind of take us there?
Absolutely. So what we do is connect the school day to the after school. So we do intentional data-driven tutoring for elementary school kids for free across the entire city.
Wow, that's impressive. We could have had something like that back when we were in school, maybe.
Well, Steve and I have open transcripts, so I don't know if you still would consider taking us,
right.
or
I mean, maybe for you. Just,
okay, all right,
as a
special dispensation. I like that.
So is this, you have a certain location where people come to you? Are you online? What's the platform that you do?
You know, we go where parents need us. So
Okay.
we're in several schools. We're in some TPS schools. We're in a Washington local school. We're in a couple charter schools. And then we also are at the Lucas County Public Libraries.
Okay.
We'll have 10 Lucas County libraries here by January.
Wow.
And then we also are online for our 4th through 8th graders who are
Okay.
really struggling. We have that option where they can come online one-to-one with a tutor.
Sure.
And get that extra help.
Yeah, so I know I've got 3 kids, and I know when COVID hit, things changed a little bit, the way that kids learn, and even just some of the things going on in a normal classroom setting, it was a little different. And so I think that's probably been a blessing for a lot of students and their parents to offer this, this great program. How many tutors do you actually have?
It varies depending
Okay.
on how many kids we have, but last year we had about 69. Right now,
Wow.
I think we've got about 45
Okay,
total
wow,
between.
that is fantastic. And about how many kids are you working with on a weekly, daily basis?
Weekly, daily basis right now, we're at about 250.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that is fantastic. So I know one of the things we like to do when we have folks like you guys in here is try to help raise awareness. And so, it's a newer organization that I didn't know about, and so we're hopeful that some of the listeners will learn about this too. But how do they get to find out more about you? Do you have a website, Facebook page? So
Both.
Awesome.
All of the
There you go.
above,
There you go.
Instagram, all the things. So our website is tutorsmart-toledo.org. And then you can find us on Facebook at TutorSmart Toledo.
Okay.
And you can find us on Instagram at TutorSmart_Greater Toledo.
Okay.
Because somebody stole our tag
That
before
happens.
we got it.
That happens, yeah. So we also love to share stories. And obviously working with kids, I'm sure you've got some stories. How long have you been in existence, too? How long have you guys been doing this?
Yeah, so we're in year 5.
Okay.
Right now.
So do you have any stories that maybe stand out over the last 5 years of some kids that you can say, obviously you're making a difference every single day, but do you have some stories where you say, hey, this tutor I know was able to do this or help this kid? I'm putting you on the spot, but either one of you have a good story?
Simon would be a good example. So when the pandemic hit, we were all in person, right, at the different schools across the district. We had 6 different TPS schools at the time, a couple community centers, but we were all in person. When the pandemic hit, we had to, pivot to online learning,
Sure.
just like the schools did. And the schools, the kids were struggling, so we had a parent reach out. She had 2 kids, and one was a 3rd grader and really just struggling with math and reading, couldn't really engage with the online curriculum. And we took him into the online classroom, got him a one-to-one tutor who, just was able to connect and build that relationship with him. And he's just soaring, right? So we were super excited. Simon is just knocking it out of the park. He's like, oh, I love the online curriculum. And, he loved his tutor. And we have Chick-fil-A incentives that the kids would get. And he was the first one that he's like, oh, I got my gift cards. He's like sharing pictures with his bag of Chick-fil-A that he got. So we've been really happy with that. So he graduated from our program.
Okay.
Now his sister was not as interested, so didn't start with us. Got enrolled, and then she was just like, yeah, this is not for me. Simon just knocked it out of the park. He closed all of his achievement gaps in reading and in math, both.
Wow.
And then the next fall, his sister was like, Simon did it, I can do this too. And she was like, but I'm gonna do him one better. She came into the program in the fall and was graduated by January.
Oh my gosh.
She was
Wow.
like, and I closed my gaps, I'm out the door.
Had to show up her brother.
Yep.
Tiffany and Hyfah, I can tell you, Steve is already stealing some of your thunder because the way he motivates Cross and I, it's not Chick-fil-A, but it's pizzas. So, if we do X amount of work during the week, we get the pizza,
Yep.
And if it's a really good week, we get like a double stacked pizza. So it's B.F. Skinner behavior modification, but it seems to be working. for both of us, I would say, yeah, it's work.
Reinforcement.
Yeah, it's positive reinforcement.
That's true.
But Steve hit on a salient point, and that is that a lot of things besides COVID. I mean, COVID was, changed everybody's life, but even putting COVID aside for a little while, a lot of times you have single parent raising families today, working 2 and 3 jobs, long hours, maybe working 12 hours a day. Back in the old days, I mean, my mom was home, and when we came home from school, and this is way back in, before automobiles and things, but when he came home from school, you sat down at the table, she went through the homework, we did our, it was all done, she looked it over, she made sure it was done. A lot of times, moms or dads are not around because they're working, trying to keep the family together. So do you see TutorSmart, I would imagine, would be a lifeline for a lot of kids who aren't getting that support at home.
Great emphasis question, and yes, and that is true. So some of our students are unfortunately not getting that response or that support from home. So we are trying to encourage the parents as far as, and find out what's going on. So the parents can't get the kids to the library. So how can we help the parents do that? How can we help the parents reinforce the students at home with the learning and to help them interact with the children at home? And is that getting a gas card to the parents to get them to the library, since we partnered with the libraries?
Oh yeah, got it.
So
There are a lot of obstacles for parents, and whether in middle school math. Middle school math is the one that makes the smoke come out of the ears and the eyes start to cross, and the parents are starting to shake, and they're like, please help us. And so that's why we make sure that TutorSmart's available across the city. A lot of our parents are in that kind of the urban setting, in the central city, where they are working 2, 3 jobs just trying to make ends meet. They don't really have time to make sure that their kids are.
And Tiffany, it's not the math they learned in school.
And it's not.
It's a totally different gig.
Yeah.
I had one of my grandkids come up, 5th grade. I should know this. I think 5th grade. And with the math stuff, and hey Pop, can you take a look? And I'm thinking, I'm pretty confident. Said, yeah, I'm a college graduate. I'll take a look at that. And at 12 minutes, I handed it back to him and said, listen, you're on your own. I can't help you. So I get that 1,000%. Yeah.
A lot has definitely changed in the education front. It's amazing what you guys are doing. We learned a lot here today too. With you've got that many tutors helping that many kids. How can people that are watching get involved, and how can they help you?
Well, that's a wonderful question, and we appreciate it immensely. We take volunteers to work with the kids. We'll do the hard part of the tutoring. We bring in teachers that we pay to make sure that they're getting that quality intervention piece. But we love it when volunteers can come in and build some relationships with our kids, help them with their computer-based online curriculum, helping us just keep things running smoothly, and snacks for the kids. We also take donations of gift cards, incentives, things.
Sure.
School supplies are always, you would not believe the amount of dry erase markers we go through.
Okay.
Sometimes. So, donations like that are always really helpful too. We take monetary donations. That's what keeps everything running smoothly for kids. There's no out-of-pocket expense for parents. We don't charge them for supplies. We don't charge them for the time. It costs us about $1,000 on average per year per student to run this intervention for them. So it takes a lot to make that happen.
Well, for sure.
And that includes technology, snacks, and the tutoring.
And it's all free for the parents.
It is.
Unbelievable. That's amazing.
That is.
And I mean, you put the number together with how many kids you're helping. That money needs to come from someplace.
It does.
So if you're watching, make sure that you get some donations out, right? Don't pass the Chick-fil-A gift cards through us first, though, because they might not get to them. So
Well, some of them would get through, just not all.
Maybe not the pizza.
Yeah, well,
But we'll take those too.
I'd take down the Chick-fil-A too, Tiffany. I got to be honest about it. It would happen.
No, that's great. Well, thank you for coming in today. We always love having community partners that are, sharing the good work that they're doing in our community. We love to raise awareness for organizations like yours and help spread the word, and hopefully get some people out there that are watching that can say, hey, that's something that I'd love to help out. And we'd love to get on board and help out too. So appreciate you coming in. TutorSmart, check them out. We know we'll put all the information on screen so you can click right to the links and check out how you can help. So thanks for tuning in to Steve Taylor's Community Connection. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.